blue eyeshadow on from my Aunt Rita. May she rest in peace. My Aunt Rita was a glamazon. She used to always do her makeup, and she had the most beautiful blue eyeshadow. And she was black excellence. Seriously, she was the she was the opulence decadence part. Black excellence, opulence, decadence. She was that part. She was like come fly to church type. Look, black excellence, opulence, decadence. It's real. The reason why I say that is because, and so for this video, I'm going to speak freely, but I'm going to make it a point to just not get too riled up because this is a beautiful topic and there's nothing but beauty to be shared here. But this Black excellence thing, it's not a fake, honey. It's not a fake, it's not a phony. It's not something that just happened overnight. It's something that took us in this country almost 500 years to attain. So when I hear my fellow Black people of all ages and really all mixtures, it'd be the lightest ones to the darkest ones to the African ones to the West Indian ones to some of the ones on Gates to some of the ones in the Lower East Side to some of the ones in the Bronx to some of the ones in Cali to some of the ones down south. I mean, I know people in a lot of places. You know, some of the only hopeful Black people I know don't even live in this country, to be honest. But it seems like so many of us are so used to being downtrodden and like discouraged, and those words start with the D, and so does the devil. And all of those things are distracting. Everything about life as a Black person in the United States is trying to distract us from our excellence. Everything. I mean, everything. Everything from the news every day, trying to reinforce stereotypes in our community, to the gender war that's currently going on within our community, to lack of respect for the elders in our community, but always exploiting them for personal gains and never retelling their stories adequately, and lack of respect for even some of we have so many great celebrities and influential Black people that never get held up to the light and lifted up in front of everyone's eyes because everything that they do is on the righteous path. And sometimes when you're on the righteous path, people look at you like, who the fuck do you think you are? Or, you know what, and here's a challenge on this video. Let me not curse on this video. That's going to be my only curse in this video. I'm sorry. Because this thing about Black excellence is my potty mouth got to go. It's very hard for me. Being a New Yorker, my potty mouth is built in. It's like the curse feels like a collegiate word when I say it. So, to be honest with you, what I'm trying to say is this. We're already hurting so much. Why do we need to continue to hurt ourselves? And when I say things like, let's not hurt each other, let's heal each other, and I get pushback from Black people whose lives would benefit from a little bit more compassion, I'm really confused. Like, is there something wrong with being healed? Is there something wrong with acknowledging that we're hurting? No, what's wrong is they got us smoking so much weed and drinking so much liquor that we pretend like we're not hurting while we're consuming all their products and supporting their economies. They got us here, you know, contributing to their wealth while we discourage one another. I mean, It's a good thing that I'm a strong-willed woman, and it's a good thing that I'm a little hard-headed, and it's a good thing that I'm a little combative because that is exactly what is going to be needed when we start this revolution. Now, I don't consider myself as deep and as fiery as a Vicky Dillard. I don't consider myself her, but I do love everything she says. Everything she says is spot on. Her spirit lives inside my body. Everything she says, I applaud it. I know that there will be days in my future where she'll see me and she will think, why is she wearing that weave? Why is she over there with those white people? Because that's just part of the game. That's just part of what we're embarking in when we chase monetary success in other people's lands. We play by their rules because we want to usurp their power. And by getting into the finance of things, we get to usurp power. So for me, it's a little bit of a Trojan horse situation. People need to feel comfortable in order to let their guard down for us to infiltrate. So a lot of the times, some of the things I do and have done in my life have been to create a more comfortable environment by which I can take advantage. That's called strategy. And you see, because I don't work anybody's corporate job right now, I keep my hair very natural. But when it comes down to this corporate job, I go in there and I play the role because the role is what gives me the access to the money that will allow me to change my community. And it's not about hair because I think sometimes we get very caught up on hair. Like hair is the only thing that matters, and hair is actually one of the least important things uh, to oppressors, whether they are white, Asian, or And the reason why I say Asian is because if you don't know this, Africa is being bought up by the Chinese as we speak. Um, and then a lot of people will say, well, why? Why do they buy up Africa? Why have they bought up Africa, and why does Africa allow them? Well, one of the main reasons I believe, and I'm just going to speak from my belief because I'm going off of having watched documentaries on various different situations that are going on in Africa, i.e., the gentrification of Rwanda. Um, and I'm also a person who truly understands that you have to spend a little bit of money to make money. I understand that, but then why is it that everybody else is spending in our continent? The real reason is because Black excellence can only be attained when everyone believes it's possible. The true same pay as Black people is something that this world has not seen since the dawn of time, and it's going to happen. I hate to sit here with these downtrodden, discouraged Black people who believe that it cannot happen. It can happen, and the way it will happen is by us trusting one another. The way it will happen is by us giving each other room to be flawed without judgment, but to also rally around causes that advance our people. I sat there with a couple friends who wanted to convince me that, I swear, they want to convince me that it's not possible because there's too many fucked up people. We always say Gates because we're here. So we always say Gates, and they say, well, niggas and Gates ain't gonna make it. And at the end of the day, we're gonna have to just leave them. Some people got to get left. And I say, says who? Who said they got to get left? Who said they got to get left? I never said once. You see, and that be the shit. Excuse me. That is the stuff that gets me so frustrated because the only people saying that to me, you, when you say that, you're the true sellout. Because you think, do you think that the young people and the old people, do you think that any of the black and brown people in the hood don't know that they're going to be left? Do you, wait, hold on, aren't you one of them too? You may not live on Gates, but hey, if we don't look around, we'll be part of the hood. Yeah, we live in the hood, but we're not hood. We live in the hood, but we don't behave hood. But we are the hood. You know why we're the hood? Because I don't have $100,000 sitting in my bank account right now. I don't. And every time I get money, it goes into a bill. So I'm the hood still. And I got the white girl accent because I went and played in the sandbox with a couple of white people when I was young. But the real reality is, I would have never sounded like those Gates Avenue people because I wasn't raised there. But it doesn't take away from the fact that I'm still in the hood, because in America, every black neighborhood is a hood. There is not one black neighborhood that isn't a hood. Everything that was a hood, have it and reclaim themselves. So when people talk about places like Baldwin Hills, when's the last time you've been there? It's white. Now, yeah, there's some legacy black people there, just like right here. There's some legacy black people right here in Brooklyn. But guess what? They're just a brown face walking on the street. They don't own anything. They don't do anything. All they do is maintain the little slice they have. They're not working to share or to create and facilitate for other people. I mean, it is baffling to me when all of these people come in our communities opening up, and I'm not really talking about the houses, because property is very hard to attain. In terms of, it's not very hard to attain, but it's a little difficult to attain when your credit is not right. And there's several factors. But you know what? How hard is it for all these white businesses opening in our neighborhood to offer a couple black restaurants, and your restaurant don't got more than one or two of us working in your restaurant? That is a clue to me that I shouldn't be in your restaurant. Black excellence can be attained, and it will be attained when people stop doubting the power that we already have. We have power in numbers. And the only way to maintain that power is to grow the numbers and to facilitate change in our community, so that, the thousands, because the real reality is that there are certain black people that feel that they're better than others. And even sometimes I get wrapped up into this, but then I have to remind myself that in the eyes of the powers that be, I'm just like everybody else. I'm no better than anybody at all. God, I'm flawed. But what I will say is, I never give up. And that's the excellence. That's what makes me excellent. Black excellence doesn't look the same on every single person. I just wanted to say that too. I think Black excellence is something that we talk about, but it has a plethora of definitions, because my version of excellent is not your version of excellent. You see, the lady that interviewed me yesterday for a little job at her office, I consider her Black excellence. She's a West African lady who worked her ass off to be here, even worked in corporate America and realized that there was a structure and a ceiling that she couldn't pass, and decided to start her own thing. But she's not really rich or anything like that. But to be honest with you, she, to me, is Black excellence, because she keeps striving and she never gives up. She never gives up. And when you say it can't be attained, it's like you're giving up before you even try. And I think that is the reason why certain people need to stop smoking weed. We smoke a lot of weed, but look, some people, when they smoke, it's almost like they behave in ways that it's like defeatist. It's just docile. And docile is the wrong way to be when we have a revolution. I mean, guys, how can Black excellence thrive when everyone is high and drunk? I mean, we got artists backslapping women we got artists kicking women, backslapping women. We have little girls getting jumped in the streets. We have um, grown women giving up their body for absolutely nothing, not even a promise, for a hope that lives within their mind. We've got, I mean, to be honest with you, the dogs live better than us in America. They do. You ever see a white person's dog, how entitled they are and how happy they are? They live so well and they eat so well. And this Black excellence, how could it happen if every time we look around, there's a Black person who has resources doubting its ability? That's how we get away from this Black excellence thing. And it's so crazy because me and the artist used to fight about this a lot when I first started managing him. And he used to say, in their world, a woman like you and a young man like me were never supposed to find each other. We were never supposed to know each other. Not find each other on some, we are a match made in heaven. No. Find each other on some, I need to find my brothers and my brothers need to find me, because they want to rip us apart and have us fighting each other while they take us over, while they continue to take over. They want to subjugate, look, they want to put us under the jail. They want to put us back on the plantation, y'all. America is not as profitable as it used to be. And the stock market is bullshit, and people realize that. So they really want to get back to this manufacturing shit. And they want to put us right back where we belong in their minds. And to be honest with you, nobody does it better than us. One of the reasons why they brought us here is because we're the toughest. We got that melanin. Without that natural melanin and that natural protection from the sun and stuff, do you think they would have had us slaving for 400 years? Like, what if we flipped this shit and we had them slaving? Also, I always thought, like, there's so many resources in our countries, but there's plenty of resources up in the Antarctic and, you know, in Russia and in other cold climate places. So if we take this shit over, why don't we put their asses to work? Go fucking work and drill me some oil from Antarctica so I can get rich. It's time. The New World Order is here, and I hope these oppressors and fascists start to understand that, and plantation owners start to understand that we are not playing no games with it. It's hard to not curse. We're not playing no games, meaning you gotta know we're serious by now. I mean, don't let the 5 doubting Black people make you think that we're not ready for this shit. Excuse me. God, my pardon, y'all. Don't let the 5 Black people who are doubting Black excellence try to convince you that we're actually not ready for this. We are very ready. We're so ready that if it pop off today, you really would have to contend with us. The only way y'all beating us is if that militia come from redneck town right into the city. Otherwise, it's not happening. And I hate to say it like that, but it's true. Black excellence is something that is here. It's not going anywhere. It's been here forever. So when people say it can't be achieved, then it almost makes me think, like, so all the things that were done up until this point, that's not Black excellence. It's already been achieved. I mean, from when the first pyramids were erected, we were excellent. Even before that, when the first comb was made, when the first fork was made, when the first bowl was made, when the first wheel was made, When the Nile River was irrigated for the first time, when the irrigation system, I remember reading this in ancient Egypt, when you study African history and you study the Nile and how, the importance of the Nile being the place, the water source that brought all the life, water sources, and some of the best minerals, then you recognize that irrigation, even we created that. You guys didn't know anything about that. They didn't even have running water where you were at. They had frozen ice. Like, what did you have to do to even stay hydrated? I mean, in Africa, we have all the resources. We have the people. They're the most important resource. And so when America and these fascists and these imperialists and these capitalists, hardcore capitalists, want to subjugate us and want to make us their slaves again, we have to put our foot down and declare Black excellence. Black excellence is the only non-co-opted phrase. Black Lives Matter has become a farce now that people have exploited it and created an All Lives Matter movement. It's almost nullified the Black Lives Matter. Nobody talks about Black Lives Matter, but Black excellence is something that only a Black person can claim. Because it's not even a conversation, it is a stamp. You know, it's like when people make their products in the US and it says made in the USA, or when people now they have this film thing in New York where it's like people are doing their short film projects for de Blasio's office and stuff. And all those things say made in New York. To be honest with you, Black excellence is that stamp for us. Black excellence is a stamp that says you come from a dish. This is what the stamp really means. It means a Black person. You come, it means this. A Black person, you come from a disenfranchised background, but I can see you now because you have elevated and transcended all of the obstacles in your life to the point where nothing can hold you back and you truly have achieved excellence. That's what Black excellence means. That means we don't stop. So when a person says we can't, I hate people who say I can't. I would rather you die chasing your morals, your ideals, and the things that are important to you than to sit back and be lazy and dismiss them. I hate that lazy shit. I hate that. That's one of the things that I think weed has done to certain people in my life. I mean, 5 years ago, they were talking different. Fast forward to today, I don't know what they're smoking now. I'm the same person. I'm more militant than I was. You know what? I've changed. I'm more militant than I was 5 years ago because I've always been this way. Even when I was studying African studies at Hunter, I've always been this woman who believes in us, believes in Black people, in our strength, in our power. So when I sit here and talk to other Black people who have a lot more resources than me, talk about it could never happen because, you know what? Yeah, we've all been robbed. But I've also been robbed by the white man every time he had me sit in his office underpaying me. Finessed. You guys, come on, put things into perspective. If you don't have any hope for Black excellence, you might as well not have hope for Black people. And that's when I know I'm dealing with someone who's self-loathing when they say things like that. Black excellence is one of the most beautiful things that I've ever heard of in my life. Whoever made that phrase, and I'm pretty sure it was Hove from Murder to Excellence. But if someone coined it before him, you're brilliant. But if it was Hove, of course, we know he's brilliant. He's brilliant. But the reality is, Black excellence, opulence, decadence. Tux is next to the present. I'm present. Look, that shit gave me chills. Kicking the dope, Biggie Flow. Rest in peace to Notorious B.I.G. I know that his commemoration of his death happened a couple days ago or yesterday. But that ain't enough. We gonna need a million more. Kicking the dope. Biggie Flow, I'm all dressed up with nowhere to go. That's why we gotta stop getting dressed up for them. We are gods. Since they want to sexualize our bodies, how about we stop putting their clothes on? Give them this whole naked body the way we were intended. I mean, when I was watching Shaka Zulu, it reminded me that my people didn't never need certain clothes. It is too hot for clothes. Like, we didn't need that. I'm in the real estate office today, and I say to boy, oh, it's wonderful outside. It's only 60 degrees on the nose. It only hit 60 degrees today. Or was it 70? I don't get, no, it hit 70. Okay. It only hit 70 degrees today. And it, like, when I say hit, it's the spring in New York. So it barely hit. It's feeling like it's in the 50s still. You know, boy had the nerve to tell me he was dying. He said he likes 30-degree weather and he would live somewhere in Siberia. And he is, you know, very pale, very pasty, and very white. And I looked at him and I was like, we kept trading little jabs, and I thought he was being sarcastic. Like, I thought he was like, oh, I'm dying, meaning it's too hot for me, I'm complaining, like on some sarcastic shit. No, but I said, wait, so you're being sarcastic? I had to step back. He was like, no, I really am dying. It's too hot for me. I like 30-degree. I was, wow. I mean, we are so good that we could be in any climate, but we thrive most in the heat. And since this planet is becoming hot and hot and hotter by the day, we're in an advantage. We have an advantage. This sunlight favors us. We have an advantage. We can process vitamin D like nobody else. Vitamin D is the chemical that continues to make us happy and continues to regulate our lives and give us good energy. And I bet it does a million other things. But they can't consume it. They cannot consume it because they don't have this melanin. He has to take melanin. He can't. I feel bad for him. But isn't that just more of an observation and more of a confirmation that we are the best? I mean, you have to take a medication to look like us. You not even look like us, because you can never look like us. You have to take a medication to be able to process what is natural on this earth. Whereas all I have to do is ingest it and be around it, and I'm fine. I don't have to take vaccines. I don't have to do all that shit. I don't have to do all that. You do. So Black excellence is something that it cannot be shared with any other group but us. The operative word is Black. Because excellence can be replaced with a lot of different words. But the excellence means pinnacle. It means the very point on that pyramid. That's the excellence part. That's the excellence. This is the self-actualization and the hierarchy of needs. That is the excellence. Black excellence is at the top. How dare they? How dare they? How dare they ever doubt us? I mean, they should have exterminated us the way we're gonna live. I mean, Black excellence is when you and your husband, because you're married and you respect the sanctity of family and marriage and, you know, loyalty and a team. And that's how Black excellence operates. We don't operate in silos by ourselves. Black excellence understands that the more excellent Black people around us, the more powerful we are. So we seek to have friends and family that think like us and think on a high level. So if I'm a woman and I consider myself part of this Black excellence, the last thing I want to do is give my body to a man who doesn't believe it, doesn't even believe it could be possible. You don't even believe that we can attain anything as Black people. Well, if it weren't for, look, you were the reason holding us back for all these years. If it weren't for men like that and women like that, scary, people that are scared to death of life. These people are so scared to death of life that they would rather be under the thumb of someone for their entire life than spend and risk a portion of their lives fighting for the freedom of their people. Even if I die today, I want my people to live free. Black excellence is when we can be free. We don't have to go to your corporate company to get a job because there's so many of our own corporations. Since you're not standing in our way, get the fuck out of our way. So we can create these corporations. So we can have exponential growth and generational wealth. How dare they? Disgusts me. Black excellence is real. They know it. That's why they want you to have their baby. They want us to have their baby so badly. It's a melanin thing now. It's not because they even like us. I mean, back in the day when a white boy liked me, I knew he liked me because, he was kind of interested in me, for real. He doesn't really mess with Black girls like that, and he was interested in me, and he wants to get to know me because maybe we work together or whatever the case is. Now, it really is worse than it used to be, where highly fetishized, and I feel like damn, even natural hair became a fetish now. Who knew that the hair on my head that they hated for generations became, and you want to know, I'm going to tell you a little secret. You know who hated this hair for generations? Black people. It's not like white people made perm. I mean, Madam C.J. Walker made that. She was a millionaire, first Black millionaire since she was riding her shit. But she created that. They created those things because they wanted to assimilate hair straightener and stuff like that. And they got rich. They did. Somebody going off at window. Black excellence is not about us holding each other back and discouraging each other. It's about promoting one another to the point where we're like, yo, it can be done. In order for us to have a nation, we need several things. But one of the things we need is a bank. And another thing we need is education. And another thing we need is protection and an intelligence agency. We need a lot of different things. And so we're going to need a lot of different people. And even the naysayers who doubted us will still include you if you have the capacity to get certain things done. Even the ones who were, I mean, there's people who said there would never be a Black president. And I know some people had to eat their words. Some people were still alive to eat their words. My grandmother actually was never a person to even discuss presidency. But I'm glad she got a chance to see it. She was so busy working, she didn't have time to be worried about who the Black president was. She just knew that she needed someone who represented her interests so she could continue to be successful. And then people talk about they don't vote. You guys sound stupid. You know you don't vote? I know why, because you'd rather stay home and smoke weed all day. God, these last couple of days without all this weed has given me so much clarity. It's made me realize that they are trying to make us docile, even through our vices. They're trying to kill us with diseases through the sexual aspect. And they kill us with Jesus. I mean, assault on every front. There's assault. I mean, they want to kill us they want to kill our true spirituality with these made-up deities. They want to kill anything we do, but yet they want to bite off of it and they want to benefit. And they have to take melanin to do it. It's such a sad situation, the world that we're in. But Black excellence is very real and it can be attained and it will be attained. Because what we Black excellent people need to do is we're going to have to move you out of our way. We're going to have to get you out. You know what? You're going to be left behind. Because what it sounds like to me is that you would rather go down fighting for a person like me because I spent years in corporate America, and now that I'm in my 30s and technology and scrum teams have taken over, I basically have no career. So I could see this already, and it's affecting me, and I consider myself a high-powered bitch. Excuse me. I consider myself a high-powered woman. So literally, you mean to tell me there's nothing out there? No, you know what I've decided? Any money is good money. So as long as I continue to work while I build when I build and it can pay my rent, I'll get something. But I'm not looking to be validated by these white people anymore. I actually was never really looking for their validation. I was just looking to share in their wealth. I never really wanted white people validation. I don't claw for it. I don't. I really don't. I really don't. I really don't. Even when I wear weave and things like that, I don't never wear blonde. I don't never go OD. I always go for like a mixed Indian West Indian look. I never go for white. I never do the contour that makes my nose look super pointy and straight. Cause look at my nose. It's beautiful as it is. It's really not bad, guys. I really don't hate my fucking nose. Excuse me. I really don't hate my nose. It's not bad, guys. So I'm not putting any light skin contour to make my nose look pointy because it's unnecessary. I wear some straight hair sometimes because I like it. It's fun. It's sexy. But I actually love my hair too. I really always have. I want us to come to that point again where we love ourselves again and we stop doubting one another, because you'll never get anything if you continue to doubt. If you continue to doubt, you won't get anything. What you'll do is you'll start to spread doubt amongst the community, which is something we can't allow. I gotta stand up and sitting down too. We can't allow people to disrespect us in the community anymore. We can't allow for people to say that Black excellence can't be attained because they're too lazy to orchestrate and to create plans and to be strategic. Every day I look at this world and I see myself in it less. I want a world where my children can live. I don't have kids yet, but I'm going to have them because it was my right. We are the most fertile people in the world. All of those nations that had those genocides, which these white people started and funded. So even places like Rwanda, all these places, you know what they have that Europe doesn't have and America doesn't have? Young populations. I mean, like, these incidents just happened 10 and 15 and 20 years ago. And I mean, they've got hundreds and thousands of young people ready to be employed, ready to work, and ready to do things in the continent of Africa. And how do they get that? Because we're fertile. Because we can start pushing babies from 12 years old. Not to say that should happen, but we can produce. And we will produce, and we will outproduce and overproduce and produce because we're Black and we're excellent, and we're going to continue to do it. And we're going to get paid. And when there is no economy, we will still be compensated, whether it's by trade and negotiation, or whether we have to go and annex certain parts of Europe to be successful. I mean, you can't tell me that Italy and France wouldn't be a part of Africa if it was popping. You can't tell me that. I mean, they're right there. They enjoy Africa more than we do. They go to Africa more than we do. These people, I mean, it baffles me at how much of Africa some of these white people have seen. And then when you go to the ordinary man in the hood, he has no desire to even go. You are so brainwashed. And now any fight that you had in you was killed by that overly strong weed that you smoke. I smoke weed too, but I had to slow down because I realized that it is very, very strong and someone is fucking with it and altering it regardless of what grower you're going to. And so what I need to be in my full capacities. If somebody run into this neighborhood, going crazy in this neighborhood, and I'm outside when it happens, going to the corner store to get my beer or whatever, because I only drink Miller Lite now. I don't drink a lot. But if somebody storms this neighborhood and things happen, I'm prepared. I got a couple weapons for myself. I got an emergency bag, medication. Everyone needs one. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but Black excellence is real. And in order for us to keep and maintain it, because there's so many naysayers, people are going to be gunning for our heads. And the biggest doubters are our own people. So ourselves, Then the heavy artillery comes in, the tanks, and then how can we contend with that? We won't be able to. So I need people to be strong and believe in this Black excellence thing and be prepared, because they're trying to take our communities and flip our communities in ways that we've never seen. I mean, I've never seen Black men and Black women hate each other so much, and it's disgusting. It's not their fault. It's not our fault. It's no one's fault but the people that are orchestrating and manipulating. So what we need to do is we need to stop arguing about problems that they've dropped on us. And we need to say, oh, they dropped these problems on us, but we really don't have these problems. Throw those problems out. And then we need to talk amongst ourselves about what it means to be Black and excellent. And then we need to continue to grow our excellence outside of the confines of their structures. And if we need to be compensated, we need to grow an economy amongst ourselves and continue to develop one, because with $1.3 trillion in spending power, which is a lot, and can rebuild some nations 4 or 5 times over, with that knowledge in hand, how stupid do you look going into the Gucci store? Like, only person, it's so hard for me to buy designer now. I actually have a cracked up phone, and I have an iPhone 6 that I love. It's like pink. I love it. And then I have an iPhone 8 that's red, but it's all cracked up. And people looking at it and they're like, you should get a new phone. I'm going to get the screen fixed, but I'm probably not going to get a new phone. Number one, I like these colors. The only phone I want is the 11 purple. But aside from that, I won't get anything else, because they are cutting off people's arms and amputating little kids that are getting injured in these cobalt mines just so you can have an iPhone. But then you want to talk about Black excellence doesn't exist. Man, we could have engineered iPhones. Who the hell is Steve Jobs? He's nobody special. We could have done that and created that and uplifted one another, but we won't do it because we don't believe in ourselves. We believe that it's always someone else. And I literally had a man telling me today that we need them. To be honest, Black people don't want to say it, but we need these white people. Said who? You need them because you don't got the intelligence. But I could point to 5 or 10 men that could run a stock market exchange by themselves. I could point to several Black doctors that could train other junior and upcoming doctors and nurses to become doctors, and then we can grow a whole medical field for engineering. Everyone is Black. And we haven't even gotten to the fun jobs yet. I'm talking about the foundation. We haven't even gotten, and the teachers as well, but we haven't even gotten to the fun shit. We got everything covered. We have everything. We have all the pieces. It's time to put it together. And Black excellence is real. I love you guys. All right? Peace. Black excellence is real. Don't let these people tell you Black excellence isn't real because they don't want to strive with you. If they don't want to strive, they'll get left. Because when we all leave this place, or when we rebuild this place the way we're rebuilding this place, there's actually no space for them. If you say can't one more time, you'll be outside of the gates. I can't have naysayers in here. They've been doubting us forever, and now we're going to sit there and doubt ourselves. So yeah, Black excellence is real, and we're going to fight for it. It will continue to grow, and it ain't going nowhere just because a couple lazy men who smoke weed all day think that it's not possible. It's not possible for you because you'd rather sit here and watch movies and smoke weed. You know what you should be doing while you're smoking weed? Why don't you smoke weed in a park somewhere and educate people on how to plant and how to grow and how to do agriculture, and make it an educational experience instead of wasting your energy and wanting to live your life vicariously through younger women and partying and all that stuff. I mean, grow up. Like, that's why, I mean, it's really for Black men to lead us, and they can't lead us because they're so stuck in their vices. Once Black men come out of their vices, if all of them pull back a little bit, we could have protectors, providers, we could have builders, we could have movers and shakers, we could have architects, we could have bankers, we could have, and still artists, and still fun, and still chefs. I mean, you guys don't want it for us. If you wanted it, there's a lot of Black excellence and everybody's getting paid by the white man. Isn't it time? Isn't it time for us to start making our own conglomerates? Okay? Shout out to Tyler Perry for doing that. Shout out to him for understanding that our people need opportunities even when they think they don't, and for understanding that our people need a blessing even when they believe that nothing can be done. All right? Because it's really going to take people with vision to continue to build this thing. It's not going to be about the naysayers. The naysayers are going to be at home because they don't want to do much. They're lazy. They say no because they're lazy. When people say they can't, they can't. You know what it says to me? Because I don't say I can't often, but when I say I can't, it's really because I can't do something. But sometimes at work, I'll say I can't do something because I don't feel like it. They don't feel like it, honey. Saying I can is another way of saying I don't feel like jumping up and down for my own people today. I'd rather smoke this weed and eat at home and have these threesomes. A disgrace. That's why we don't have anything. Just listen. Black excellence, opulence, decadence. I hope that means something to you guys. I hope it does. Sad.